How you doing, everyone? It's Kevin. I'm back with another video. You guys seen me build a lot of pry bars. Well, I'm going to have to build some more pry bars. The last one I built was the red one. And the red one, I used it for just a little while, and then somebody came along and wanted to buy it, so I sold it. And I figured I'd build a couple more. But I'll tell you, the red pry bar that we built, it was the best. I mean, that thing worked great, and we tore a lot of pallets apart with it, and then we still sold it. Somebody offered me 50 bucks for it, so I took it. It was garbage metal, so 50 bucks is 50 bucks. I'll take it. The only problem I see, like, I know a lot of you guys want these pry bars. The only problem I have is getting this big heavy thing to you, which costs almost as much to ship it as it would for you to buy it. So I might in the future, my wife asked me to try to build the head to where you could put your own pipe in it, and then I could ship you the head and you could put your own pipe in it. So that in the future I might do a video on that and try to get it to where I can ship these things out so you guys can have the head, and you could just go to Lowe's and pick up a piece of steel pipe, put it down in there, and hopefully you'll have a nice pry bar. But that's in the future. Right now I'm going to build a couple more, and this time I'm going to put a couple different angles on them. You know, the angle is when you put it down, you push down on it. So I made one a little bit steeper and maybe not so steep. So I'll show you what I got to work with here. Okay, I've already cut the steel. The steel's all cut and ready to go. These are the two plates that I'm going to use. And if you notice, when you put them side by side, this one's tilted up further than this one here. So this one, when you push the pry bar, it's going to be more standing up than this one right here. I'm just going to see which one works the best. Later, if I see this one don't work out right, I can always heat that back up and bend it. But we got two of these. I'm going to give you guys an idea a little bit about this steel so you know what I'm using. This is basically rebar here, and I'll get a measurement on it for you. This is 3/4 inch rebar, and it's about 5.5 inches long. None of this has to be perfect. As you can see, this one's a little bit longer than that one. It doesn't really matter. My long one, if you went with the longer one, is about 9 3/4 inches long, and the shorter one is about 8.5. And then you'll need a piece of this. This is actually 1.25 inch outside diameter pipe. It's 42 inches long. I don't know if I could get a measurement on the thickness of this. It looks to be about 1/8 inch thick. This pipe here, 1/8 thick, 1.25 inch outside, and this is 2 inch by, I believe that's 1/2 inch. 2 inch by 1/2 inch. You need something really strong because you're not tempering this. You're not heating it up and heat treating it or anything. So you don't want them to bend. So that's why I was kind of using the big heavy steel. So we're going to go ahead and get these guys welded on. Get our pipes welded on them and see what difference it is in the two bars. Just that little bit of a bend in them, I bet there's a difference. Okay, what I've done here is I just took a couple magnets stuck on here. I want this 1 3/4 inch hanging over on this side and 1 3/4 inch hanging on this side. Both sides 1 3/4 inch. I'm going to try to keep that as straight as I can with this piece here, with the rod coming up and down. We'll do our best on that. I don't know if we could put a magnet on there and see if we can keep them straight. We may be able to take one of these. That should actually keep it pretty straight on there. So let's measure it again, just make sure one side has 1 inch and 3/4 hanging over. And we're right on the money. So I'm just going to get this guy tacked in there, and then we'll get it welded. Alright, that should be enough just to hold it into place. Take all this off. Now we can get it welded up. Okay, what I've done with this is I welded this side and this side because this is going to have a lot of pressure on it. This is what's going to break the board off. This is going to push up on the bottom board. This is going to sit on your 2x4. So we want this welded on good and tight. So we'll go ahead and get started on our other one. Same way, we're going to do the same thing. But this one here, don't forget, it's not tilted as much as the other one. The tilt, the bend, this has more of a bend to it than that one over there. So we're just going to line that new pin up same way did the other one. Line it up, 3/4 on this side, 3/4 on that side, and get her welded. Okay, our two pieces are done. We're just going to let them sit there and cool. And while they're cooling, we're going to be working over here on this guy here. And I'll show you what I'm doing. Let me get this big one here. What I'm doing is I'm just taking, I'm going to cut this out of this. So I'm just going to come back here up onto this piece here and then come down a 1/2 inch on both sides, and I just free-handed that on there. And I want to set this down inside of there like so. I want it right down inside there. But I want this to be pretty much flush with this pipe here. This plate flush with this pipe. So that's what I'm going to work on right now. We're going to go ahead and get the 4-inch grinder and get this cut. Now, to do this job, you basically just need some steel, a 4-inch grinder, and a welder, maybe a tape measure, and something to mark it with. Not much. It's actually not a lot of tools involved in this. So right now we're going to go ahead and get this guy cut up. We're just going to take a 4-inch grinder and start cutting on it. Maybe. We'll get it plugged in. Just start right here, work our way right through it. Okay, I got the little notch cut out of there, about as good as I could get it. Now we're going to take this guy, stick it down on here, get us a clamp on it. Once we get a clamp on it, we'll be able to beat it around a little bit and make sure it's where we want it. Go ahead and turn it over so we can see. You can see how straight it is, but if you turn it over, it's a lot easier to see from the front than the back. So we're just going to line it up. All right. I don't think that looks too off bad. That looks pretty good. So all we got to do now is get this guy all welded all the way around. We want to make it like one solid bar. So this is actually now going to be a piece of that bar back there. So let me get the welder out and let's get it welded. Alright, I wanted to show you guys, I welded all the way around, down through there, up through the black, all the way around. It's one solid piece now. This pipe is part of that, so hopefully that'll make it strong enough that we won't have any breaking or anything. And my last one, I had absolutely no problems at all with it, and it worked great, and probably shouldn't have got rid of it, but we'll make a couple more. So now we'll get started on the other one. We're going to do the exact same thing we did to this one. We're going to notch it out and weld it all the way around just like that. Alright, both of them is all welded up and pretty much ready to go. We just got to wire brush the handles down and get some paint on them. And to be honest with you, it doesn't look like there's much of a difference in those two front plates. But I'll bet it'll be a big difference when we put them on them pallet boards. So we'll see. We'll see what happens when we get them all finished up. So I'm going to go ahead and get them painted up, and then we're going to get them out and give them a try. Okay, our pallet pry bars are finished, good and dry, ready to work with. And of course you can see I've got a big old pallets here. We're going to be giving it a try. So, you know, the reason why I made these is my wife's been bugging me. She wants to make some pallet wood crafts. So I had to go and make a couple of these, and like I said, I probably shouldn't have sold the first one I had, but hey, we got us 2 new ones now, and she can have all the pallet wood she wants. So let's get on with the test here. Okay, now as you can see, here's the difference. The angle that this one's in and the angle that this one's in. You can see this it's more of an angle down. I suppose you could get more weight on this one. This one might be a little bit harder to use, because it's more straight up and down. It's more higher, but this one here being down, I think it'd be easier to use it. But we're going to go ahead and pull this pallet apart, and we'll try both of them. And it doesn't matter, because like I said, whatever one works the best. What we'll do is I can heat this up right here, or heat that one up and move it to where I want it. So I myself, when I'm tearing these apart, I'd start from the outside. Alright. That one wasn't too bad. Let's try this one here now. This one here has, this plate's a little longer too on it, so. Now you're going to get some of the wood. Some of the wood's going to crack. You're not going to help that. But it's just a harder piece of wood. See, I almost got to push this clear down to the bottom to get that off. I'm going to try the other one a little bit. Try the other one a little bit more. This one I shouldn't have to push down so far with. See, I didn't have to bend over as far for this one. You see, I'm not down as far as I was with the other one. And that was what I meant about hurting your back, having that bend on there just right. I think honestly, this one has got the new angle on it. And honestly, I think this one actually works better for me. You can see it's pretty strong. We just split that 2x4 right off. Not much to it. Pulls it apart pretty easy. To be honest with you though, I really think this one, being the new one, and how I know it's the new one, is the angle on this is different on this one here. And I'll show you how I know. These are my old pallet bars. Some of my very first one I ever built was this one here. And if you notice the angle that it's in compared to this one, I'll show you guys. Okay, and what I was telling you, the angle of this one is identical to the angle of that one. You can see that sets pretty much right down on there. And that's how I built that one. All of them had this angle on them. This one here has a different angle on it. See the difference? There's a big difference here. It may not look like much difference, but at the end of this 42-inch handle, it's a big difference. See that one? See that one? Big difference. But out of the two, I like this handle, this angle better. That way I don't have to bend over as far when I'm pulling the pallets apart. This is the new and improved pallet pry bar. This is the one I like the best out of the two. Now, every one of these will work to tear pallets apart. I don't have much problem, even with the very first ones that I made years ago. I still use them once in a while to tear pallets apart. But this one here, with the angle on it, it's going to be easier on my back and should work a lot better to help pull these pallets apart. Hopefully, I'm going to get Julie out here and see if she wants to tear some of these pallets apart. You know, she has a channel of her own now. We're starting to work on her channel, so she's going to do some videos on the pallet wood and pulling pallets apart. So if you guys want to see her channel, I'm going to leave a link up at the top here. You can go visit and see what kind of crafts Julie's making. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment if you like. Don't forget to click the little bell down there so you get them alerts when I put up another video. Thanks for watching. Until next time.